Atenção.
Não sei o que tá acontecendo. Ok, pelo que tá aparecendo, o YouTube tá funcionando perfeitamente. O problema tá sendo na Twitch. Na Twitch não tá chegando o vídeo direito. Na Twitch não tá chegando o vídeo direito. Funcionou. Na Twitch não tá chegando o vídeo direito. Funcionou. Na Twitch não tá chegando o vídeo direito. Funcionou. Na Twitch não tá chegando o vídeo direito. Funcionou. Na Twitch não tá. Tá bom. Vou colocar aqui o chat. O beat tava muito alto. O beat tava muito alto. E aí, tá rodando. O beat tava muito alto. Perfeitamente. E aí, tá rodando. O beat tava muito alto. Perfeitamente. Eita. Não. 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 Ah. Hum. Agora tenho só que conseguir... Já tá alta a taxa de bits da transmissão. Mas se tiver, tá funcionando. Tá ótimo, né? Deixa eu só... ativar aqui. É, eu acho que eu não vou conseguir ver os dois chats ao mesmo tempo. Por conta disso. Mas estamos aqui nos dois. Tá bom, pessoal? Qualquer coisa, quem quiser mandar uma mensagem. É só me avisar, tá bom? Deixa eu... Tá, assim eu consigo ver. Se eu não me engano. É, tá funcionando. Mas eu não vou conseguir ver os dois chats. Da Twitch e do YouTube. Infelizmente. Bora ver como que eles rodam. Bora ver como vai ser a experiência. Mas eu já estou conseguindo prever isso. Eu não estou conseguindo ver os dois chats. Eu já tinha essa noção. Se acontecer. Voltei, pessoal. Voltei. Foi mal, tá bom? Aqui... eu tinha que tomar um café. Pegar meu café. Eu tinha deixado pra fazer. Voltamos à nossa programação normal. Onde que a gente tava? Nós tínhamos chegado até aqui, estávamos investigando o distintivo dele. Que a gente achou finalmente, depois de uma longa jornada. Olha o tempo que eu não mexo. O controle até desligou.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there.
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose, one that's unfortunately been erased from your memory.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter.
4 meses atrás ele... Então quer dizer que ofereceram promoção pra ele há 4 meses atrás e que ele recusou. Mas por que ofereceram? Não sei que ele não fosse desse jeito que ele é.
A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have...
The pain in your chest tells you you were working yourself to death. The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going. You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you. Of that you are sure.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor. A lot of asphalt. It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva. And you? Is it an honor to work with you? Don't ask him. Ask yourself. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it.
Pronto, resolvemos uma das dúvidas, um dos mistérios já. Agora eu já posso falar com a Evelyn e você dá informação pra ela. O que eu tenho ainda aqui pra eu pesquisar? Eu ainda não vou entrar na vila. Tá tarde. Uma exploração aqui vai demorar um pouco. Meu Deus, eu tô sem dinheiro. Pra pagar minha noite no hotel. Tem que ir na vila. Tem que ir pra cá porque eu me lembro que tem uma casa que eles deixam ficar. E já me evita de ter que pagar $20 por menino lá do bar. Então vou continuar aqui mesmo. Só pra garantir minha noite de sono. Só me lembrar. Aqui? Tem alguma coisa. Eita. Estranho. Vai se manter. Uma gravata. Mais 2 de drama. Tem algo que diminui meu drama. Epa. Eita, fita. Vou me cantar. Tá. Já esperei por aqui, bora lá, continuando. É aqui que eu durmo.
I'll just keep the cord elysium in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
Já tá vindo pra cá agora.
Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Oh, jetty, oh, jetty. It's good to see you here, detectives. I only...
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks with the smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing.
Pobre.
And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind.
Fortunately for you, madame.
All right. Politics time. Let real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly.
Have I told you how they discovered this place? No, they're in Celindian, East... Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. It's a pity. Most of these people will never know what this place means, this island of matter, or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cool.
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit? I love you did. Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious.
Well,
What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
How about you share your information on the lynching, now that you've seen...
The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I have informed my employer there will be a probe. I cannot rescind that promise. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell you everything I know when you've finished with them. My plan is to share information. The only way to do that now is by telling my employers you've kept your end, which I hope you will. Because let me tell you, we are...
Meaning, the information she has will raise the stakes in how bad can the info she has be.
The sooner the probe is finished, the sooner I can share crucial information with you. Now, is there anything I can do for you in the meanwhile? Tea, perhaps? Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? Yes. And...
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this...
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my... Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman. While he was drunk and separated, he was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their order. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching.
What is the nature of these so-called...
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Caraca. Vai ter uma mini guerra entre eles. Foram eles, mas a questão, quem foi que matou ele? De verdade. Foi a menina? E até agora tem suposições de quem foi que matou quem. Nada está confirmado ainda. Estamos trabalhando com suposições. E isso é o problema principal. Suposição é meio difícil de lidar, né? Deixa eu ver aqui como que tá. Posições são meio difíceis de lidar. A taxa de bits tá boa. Tudo tá ótimo. A live. O único problema é a questão do YouTube. A parte ruim é só mesmo essa parte do... Eu não consegui ver os 2 chats ao mesmo tempo. É a única parte ruim. A taxa de bits está muito alta ainda. Transmito pros 2, pessoal, mas eu primeiramente no YouTube, tá bom? Só para vocês ficarem cientes. Então quem quiser curtir lá, curte. Quem não quiser, vem pra cá. De boas, tá bom? Meu canal principal tá sendo no momento. Oxi. Como assim? Vou parar aqui. Alterar. Deixa eu ver. Alô? Bora continuar. Depois a gente pensa nessas coisas. Talvez eu deixe ainda passando na Twitch, mas eu deixo um aviso aqui. Eu não consigo ver o chat da Twitch. Se vocês quiserem comentar, a gente tem que ir no YouTube.
It will be all of them. The decision is already
Todos.
made.
It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenell indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2.
As I said, a bloodbath.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
It doesn't have to be like this, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in...
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes.
Exato.
All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their... Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some...
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
Porcaria. Ela chamou os caras. Eles brigaram com os caras e agora eles estão querendo se vingar.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Digo.
He assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him? That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know... Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat...
This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. And Classier also mentioned it, I believe. What else? Nationality?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent. Oranese. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. Or he didn't. The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe. That the man...
This doesn't...
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group... That's a good question, officer. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're likely to be armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes.
Vigilantes? You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his... The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate...
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it...
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case...
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have...
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please... Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a woman.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the...
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stuff I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first Revachol. Those are the two constants, Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor. And these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest...
Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Do what you have to do, Detective Dubois. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if...
We will be careful, ma'am.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Tremble. The time is now. Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world Ulogu Theodos, Xeno Zausin, Ipoli Osithien, Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself. The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vape.
Eita. Tô com muita coisa nova.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attached to the apparatus with a set. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. Within seconds you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. This one tells it like it is. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And yup, they're all here. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Gart, you have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, the lieutenant looks at you as you remove the
Que coitado.
Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with? A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place. The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Coach means the expression. Not bad.
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check.
She's making a joke. Her voice softens.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated... Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Entendi.
She really likes those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny... Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with...
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
Voltamos com um clima mais sombrio, no caso.